Destroying the grass. Hello! I'm here to do BJD Storytime Tag. The BJD Storytime Tag. What is it called again? The BJD Storytime Tag. I thought I would do a nice video outside as it's summer and I'm feeling summery and the sun is shining. So, our first question is, what genre is your BJD story? What genre? What are genres? We just don't know. All but one of my dolls, which is Beck, and he doesn't have a story, come from my universe called Red Rover. It can't be like dystopian or sci-fi or anything like that. It's not futuristic. It's set slightly in the past. So it's not historical. Is it a drama? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not up there with my genre knowledge, not knowing at all about the genres. So let's go on to the next question. Are your characters based off real people? No. A couple of them are named after either real people or fictional people, the occasional one. But are they based? No, they're not based off anyone. They're probably just a jumble of different traits and people and experiences I've seen with my eyes, as I pretty much can only go off what I see and witness with my eyes and ears and nose and mouth and skin. So no, not really. Which character do you most relate to? What a fun question. I'm gonna have to give a boring answer because I don't have a doll for this character, but Megumi? She is one of, get your big butt up, Jesus. One of these guys' friends, so she's the same age as them. Probably because she is a female. She's not that old, I mean, I am older than her, but that different in age. And she's pretty sheltered and innocent, and I couldn't say that I'm a particularly life experienced individual either, so. Next questionos. Which character's bio was the most difficult to work on, or was that the exact wording? Which character bio was the hardest to work on? Though I like saying the word difficult, it sounds good. Okay, probably this guy. This guy had to be shoehorned into the story for narrative purposes. Most of my characters come about organically in that there's an existing character who has friends or relatives or goes on an experience, and then that this character manifests, and then the web of characters builds, and there's a whole shebang of them, which is what happened. And then I was looking at the plot and I was like, okay, I need someone to fill this gap. It's this person who's just kind of person A that I know nothing about. All I know is their purpose in the narrative. So I kind of had to forcibly implant him into the story. I now love him lots, like all of my other characters, but at the time he was kind of a difficult one. I wonder if I'm being too vague for this to be interesting. Question 5. What a fun question. Did you have to research anything in particular for your story? And my comment for this one is all the things, because I know nothing. Which is true. If I wanted to write a story about a girl with a younger sister who lived in a semi in 2017, then yep, I would be okay to write that, but that would just be my autobiography, wouldn't it? So yeah, I had to look up a lot of things. Like, what do guys do? Like, what is it like being a guy? It's obviously a different experience to being a female. I don't think I could just write a guy from all the knowledge I've lived, because I've only lived as a female. What's private school like? I don't know. I only went to not private school. Many things. Every single character that's older than me, or who is in a further stage of life than me, what do you do when you get to this? What's this? How do pensions work? What this and that? I'd never lived this, so I need to look it up. Everything. Although if we're gonna get specific, probably the private school thing is a big thing, because I'll lift them up again, because we love them. Because these guys are supposed to be the main characters. Oh, your glasses, let me save you. And they attend a very prestigious school, of which I need to know about, so that was a big thing. Next question. Where does your story take place? An actual place or a made-up world? So, it is a made-up world. It is definitely a made-up world. A made-up world set slightly in the past. It's still England, although specifically not the UK, because Scotland is independent from it, and Wales is independent, and Northern Ireland is independent. They're independent from it, so specific difference, it has to be England. The main storyline happens in the capital city, which is just referred to as the city. Although these two, although they don't come into the plot until later when they do come to the city, come from Newcastle. Newcastle keeps its name where London doesn't. it's kind of a jumble. Number 7. Does your story have a bad... I'm gonna say a bad person. The question says bad boy or bad girl, and it just sounds very strange. I'm gonna go with bad person. A bad guy used in a gender neutral kind of way. An agonist, I think. If someone uprooted me and dumped me into the city, I would look and I would say, dang, that Marcus Cohen is a piece of trash. What an evil guy. He needs to be stopped. But the story revolves around these guys at school, and one of the characters is Russell Cohen, and Marcus Cohen is his dad, and Russell like worships Marcus. So everyone else kind of sees a different side of him, and they see him through a different light. So he doesn't actually seem that horrible, which in my opinion he is, until later on. So I don't really think I'd call him the agonist to the actual narrative, though he's a bad person. Perhaps the man of many names. I'm deciding which name to call him by. Alco, I think we'll stick with. His name is Alco. I think he would be closest to the agonist of the narrative. Again, he's not a very pleasant person, and sadly none of these people I'm talking about I actually have dolls for, so it might as well be the Storytime Tag without the dolls. They're all sitting down here, I'll show you them in a second. Are there any couples in your story or love interests? There are quite a few, but because there's quite a few characters, I think statistically it's kind of around the average you'd have if you had that amount of people. A lot of the couples' love interests are just people's parents, who also happen to be important characters. I think the most notable couples would be Sid and Alco, and Sid and Alco, pretty much the coupliest couple of the story. Sid and Alco are like leaders of a legal organization. Story before doll or doll before story. In 90% of cases, story before doll, because that's the reason I have these dolls, so that I can create tangible versions of the characters in my story. However, I keep mentioning this little anomaly, Beck. He was definitely doll before story, but he doesn't really have it. He kind of has a character, but he's just kind of like my special little ornament. Whose story influenced you to write your story or join the BJD hobby? I guess a lot of fiction I'd experienced throughout my life influenced me to write and create my story. But as for joining the BJD hobby, I honestly just joined that because it was a way for me to express my story. I then found so many other lovely people involved with so many other cool stories and whatnot. Whose crew did you cross over? Quinn ice cream bars all the way. I love you. I have to say it really fast as if I know what I'm doing, but if I take the moment to try and pronounce it, I'm like Quinn ice cream bar. Quinn ice cream bar because she's so fun and her dolls are so awesome. I love watching her character videos so much. I'm like, yes. I don't care if our characters and our dolls and our things really don't have much in common, I suppose. And her dolls are so colourful and exciting, and mine are just like, oh, it was the 90s. Everyone's wearing denim. How much did you enjoy making, writing, creating your story? I mean, it's still a work in progress, but to say I spend at least one part of every single day of my life thinking about the lives and experiences of these fake people is to say I probably like it a whole damn lot. That is all for the fabtabulous BJD Storytime Tag. I think I was a bit vague for this to be remotely interesting, but enjoy anyway. I'll now show you what my dolls are up to. They were sitting here the whole time. Let's just shrivel some of them. And little Mia here is getting hidden around the back. Come sit at the front. You can now see we have got Boop, Boop. Oh, 2 girls. Well, I think that is all there is to say. So, I shall see you again soon. Bye! Can you please leave me alone for 1 second? I don't want to hear about this.